Hi, I'm an endodontist and I'm Dr. Abhishek. I'll be speaking to you about rotary night eye instruments, the various file designs, and the file systems. We have spoken in the first part of this lecture about the basic parts of a file, the crystallographic phases of nickel titanium. We've spoken about a couple of generations which are there, the 5 generations of rotary night eye. So I'll be touching upon that at the end of this as a recap, but let's start off with the various file systems which are there in the market right now and the various questions which surround that. So let's start off with the first question, which is what is the recommended speed for Profile Series 29? So a little bit of insight behind the Profile series. So this was probably one of the first rotary night eye instruments to be introduced in the market. First being Lightspeed in 1990. This was in 1994 by the head of Dentsply Tulsa Specialties by the name Dr. Ben Johnson, a very famous endodontist, and he was mostly into crafting all these instruments through Dentsply. He came up with Thermophyll for the first time. He was the one who basically started carrier-based obturation methods. And again, with Profile Series 29, he made a huge mark in the endodontic industry. So what is Profile Series 29? Instead of increasing the file sizes by 0.05 mm, like most of us, we have the 10 and then the 15 and then the 20 and then the 25 and then 30, 35, so on and so forth according to ISO. Instead, Dr. Ben Johnson thought it's a better idea to increase it by 29%. All right. The reason being there is a slow increase in the file size, which makes it easier for us to instrument and increase the root canal dimensions and the horizontal dimensions of the apex. So he considered using something called as a 29% increase. So remember that the file sizes did not increase by the conventional number 5 or 5 mark, that is 0.05 mm mark. It instead increased by 29%. So if the first file is say X, then the second file would be X plus 29% of X. All right. So that is how it would go about. So this was very good when it came to the smaller dimensions, the smaller files, but as it got bigger, the larger files, it didn't seem very practical. And that is why this did not click so much, but it was a great revolutionary breakthrough for what time it was introduced in, which was around the 1994 time. It had 3 U-shaped grooves. All right. So this was the classic first generation file. You had 3 U-shaped grooves with radial lands, passive cutting radial lands. All right, go back to our first part of this lecture for you to understand very well about the different generations and how this radial land made a difference. Now I'm going to speak strictly with respect to the file only. So it came with radial lands and rake angle. Remember from the first part, rake angle was negative. In this case, it was a negative rake angle, which means it does not have a cutting motion, it has a scraping motion, right? So it has a scraping or a planing motion. So it has a scraping or a more of a planing motion for its negative rake angle of Profile Series 29. It also has a parallel core. So it has a central parallel core which increased its flexibility. All right, it came with a parallel core. All right, and this parallel core increased its flexibility. It increased its flexibility, and it also had this negative rake angle of minus 20 degrees. All right, this was around minus 20 degrees. It also had a helical angle, so the helical angle was somewhere around 20 degrees. So this 20-degree helical angle and the negative rake angle of minus 20 degree, making it a scraping motion, and having a nice kind of a helical angle of 20 degrees made it very easy to auger debris out of the root canal towards a more coronal direction. So that is how Profile Series 29 worked. 29% increase in size, a negative rake angle, a cutting motion which was more of a scraping kind, not of a cutting kind. We also had the parallel core, which made its flexibility much better, and we had a helical angle of 20 degrees, which helped remove the debris out of the root canal to a more coronal kind of a direction. So that was regarding your profile series 29. All right. Immediately after a couple of years, Dr. Ben thought that we need to increase on the metallurgy, improve on the metallurgical aspects, where when M wire was introduced in the market, so we had M wire, which had all the different uh, configurations of the different phases of NiTi that was incorporated into a single file. So this M wire was incorporated into the existing profile files, all right. But now again he made a certain change. So this is kind of a successor to the initial profile system. Over here what he did was increase in file diameters by 29% was no more valid. So he went back and increased it in his normal dimensions as your 15 to 50 with the ISO standard increase in file sizes. So that was one change which was made to profile. No more 29% increase, it was according to ISO standards. The second thing is there was no more radial lands. All right, these lands which were there was no more valid in the sense that it did increase the torsional fatigue, but it decreased the cutting efficiency of the file, because of which there was no more lands, radial lands. So there were no radial lands which were present in the vortex file, all right, the vortex file. So the cross section was non-landed, all right. The next was that the tip sizes and tapers were similar to that of the initial profile. So the sizes, even though there were not 29% increase, it was ISO now, but the tapers remained the same 4, 6, 8% files were introduced with Vortex. All right. Now with M wire, you had much better flexibility. All right, the flexibility of the file increased, the resistance to cyclic fatigue increased, all right, which made it more and more durable, okay, in comparison to the earlier predecessor, which was your profile series. Also, it came with a varying helical angle. Instead of having a fixed helical angle of 20 degrees, he kept a progressive helical angle that made it more easy for, as I said, debris to come back and the screw-in effect to reduce, all right. So that was reduced. So these were the various changes that were done by Dentsply on the profile series by introducing something called as Vortex with an M wire technology, much better flexibility, much better cyclic fatigue resistance, and with no radial lands. However, there was another improvement which was done to Vortex, that was by adding a titanium oxide layer, all right, and this was known as Vortex Blue. Okay, so they added another layer of titanium oxide on top of this, which made the file visibly blue. As you can see in this image, this is Vortex Blue. Now with this titanium oxide layer, the shape memory reduced, all right. So this was quite intentional, because shape memory, as we all now know, is it springs back to its original form. So we want something of a more of a controlled memory, so that the shape memory effect does not be is not quite seen on the root canal configuration. So Vortex Blue came with this titanium oxide layer, which reduced on the shape memory, but again increased cyclic fatigue resistance much more, all right. It increased the cyclic fatigue resistance much more, and it helped follow the natural curvature of the root canal. So this is regarding Vortex and Vortex Blue, which are the successors of profile. So the question over here, coming back, recommended speed for profile series 29 is 150 to 300 RPM only. It is a slow rotating file, shouldn't be increased much higher, because you have your radial lands which are there and these are passive cutting. So any increase in the speed would lead to torsional stresses being applied to the file. All right. So the recommended speed for profile is 150 to 300 RPM. And I hope you understood a little bit about the M-Wire technology being incorporated into profile, making it more ISO standardized, increasing on the flexibility, decreasing on the cyclic fatigue, increasing on the resistance to fracture, and then the titanium oxide layer being added finally and making it Vortex Blue, all right, which had much higher cyclic fatigue resistance with a reduced shape memory, which can follow the canal curvatures in a more predictable and controlled manner. So the next question is, which of the following files have a positive rake angle? So is it profile series 26? But we saw that this has a negative rake angle. Is it greater taper files? Is it K3 file or is it pro taper? So the answer to this is K3 file by Cybron Endo. All right, has a positive rake angle. Now they are asking about rake angle and not the effective rake angle. Remember, effective rake angle values differ from your rake angle. Effective rake angle is also known as cutting angle. Go back to the first video again to have an idea about the basics and these terminologies. So K3 file, all right, it comes as a 6 file series with increasing tapers, again increasing sizes. Now what was the main feature of this K3? Remember 3, all right. It is slightly difficult to remember what file has what kind of a configuration or a specification, so this can kind of give you a hint. K3, 3 radial lands are present, all right. There is one which is over here, one which is at this edge, and one at this edge. Now, considering that your first generation were passive cutting radial lands were present, over here, however, the cutting efficiency was made much better and the locking in effect was made much lesser. How was that? Through something called as a radial land relief. All right. So this is nothing but a small relief which is placed, a small amount of gap which was placed in the land, in that radial land, a small ditch was placed, a groove was placed in the file so that the debris can now get collected within the flutes instead of getting engaged towards the walls. So instead of having this kind of a contact, it is better if you have slightly a smaller radial land width and you have a relief, a groove which is present, which can help in collection of debris in this land relief. All right. So the relief for the radial land was given in K3, which was one of the most distinguishing features of K3 file. Another is, as I said, the radial land width was reduced. So even though you're giving support to the file, now with wide blade support, you give more peripheral strength. All right. So even though you're reducing the radial land by width, you are giving a wider blade support because you have one relief also over there, adding more amount of metal to that area, and that in turn resists torsional and rotary stresses much better because you're increasing the overall peripheral strength of the file, thus resisting torsional and rotary stresses. So this was another feature of the K3 rotary file. Another feature is it has a positive rake angle. So even though you have your radial lands such as that present in the first generation, you still have a positive rake angle. As I said, positive rake angle is if the angle between the radius of the file and the cutting edge is more on the obtuse end, then it is known as positive rake angle. So this is the cutting edge. So this is at an obtuse angle to the radius of the file, and this helps in a more cutting action because that leads the file rotation. So here you get an active cutting action. All right, but still you have your land relief which reduces the friction on the canal wall. So both the advantages and disadvantages were kind of balanced in this file, because even though you're giving more of a positive rake angle, which was probably one of the highest, it's still one of the highest in the market. A more acute or a more positive rake angle would actually cause a lot of issues, because it can lead to friction being developed within the canal, and it may lead to file separation. So what the amazing design lies in the play in the wide radial land, and a relief was placed which helps in reducing the torsional stresses which can separate a file. So you have a reduced radial land, you have a positive rake angle, you have a radial land relief. Another additional feature, as I said, was this third radial land. All right, what this did was it minimized over engagement by helping in keeping the file centered in the canal. It stabilized the file and kept it in the center, okay, in the canal, and prevented any ledge formation or transportation to happen. It also had an increased helical angle, which prevents in debris getting clogged inside and screwing in of the file. The taper lock effect was decreased because of the increased helical angle which was incorporated into the K3 file. You also have rings for identifying length. You have a shorter handle known as axis handle. All right, so this was, instead of having a 15 or a 16 handle, you just have a 11 handle. So it's easier for you to access, all right, it's easier for you to access the posterior most regions of the oral cavity and instrument in the difficult to reach canals. All right, so in lower or reduced mouth opening, access handles were very useful because they helped in reducing the overall working length, but the working portion, the working section remained the same. It also had a variable core diameter. Instead of having one parallel core, it had a variable core diameter which gave it more and more flexibility. It also comes with a safe ended kind of a safety tip, all right, and this helps in preventing any ledge formation or zip formation or elbow formation. Now, so we spoke about the K3 file, which was developed by Cybron Endo, and it was introduced with a very different kind of a cross section where we had 3 radial lands and we had a reduced with a relief, a land relief was given in. And couple of years back, however, so the predecessor to K file or the K3 file, the predecessor for the K3 file, so what was introduced before it was known as Quantec. Okay, remember the name Quantec. Quantec 2000, all right. It was the first Quantec was introduced in 1996, and then the Quantec 2000 was introduced much later. This was given by Dr. John McSpadden. So Quantec was given by John McSpadden, who was the same dentist who gave the K3 design, all right. So K3 was also given by McSpadden, and this was given somewhere around 2002. Okay, but before that, around 1996 and around the 2000s, he gave something called as the Quantec. He came up with the Quantec file system. Now, a brief insight into what was Quantec. It had an S-shaped, so it came with an S-shaped cross section, all right, and it had double helical flutes. Okay, it had 2 wide radial lands, not 3 like K3, it had 2, all right. So it had 2 wide radial lands, all right. The original Quantec 2000 actually came with a 90-degree tip, okay, which means it was a cutting tip, active cutting tip, all right. So this caused a lot of as I said, zipping and elbow formation and ledge and all that, because it was a kind of a cutting tip. So the newer Quantec, instead of having a 90-degree tip, came with a non-cutting tip. So there were 2 kind of versions of Quantec. That is the reason why I came to this. There were 2 versions of Quantec which was introduced later on. So the first one was a 90-degree tip. Okay, so I'll just put it over here. The 2001 had a 90-degree tip caused ledges, zips, etc. Okay, then you had two versions, the newer versions which came out. One was known as the LSX, all right, sorry, the LX, and then you had something called as the SC, right, the Quantec SC file system. So what is LX? LX is basically non-cutting tip. Okay, so these non-cutting tips was like a non-faceted bullet shaped tip. All right, it was a bullet shaped, non-faceted, so it wasn't cutting tip, and this was extremely useful in severe curvatures. All right, so in cases of severe curvatures, this non-cutting tip was used. Then there was something called as the safe cutting tip, which was SC. All right, so SC was a safe cutting tip. Now, this was used in majority of the cases, like your calcifications, in cases of curvatures, basic curvatures, in cases of narrow canals, tortuous canals, in cases of small tight canals. It was a safe cutting tip with a 60-degree cutting tip. All right, so a 60-degree cutting angle was there for the tip. All right, remember, just for the tip. So this was known as a safe cutting tip because it was able to cut through the calcifications and the narrow canals, cutting the dentine away, but at the same time it was safer than the earlier version, which was a 90-degree aggressive tip. Now, one important factor you need to remember about Quantec is a term known as graduated taper technique. So there is an increase in the taper as you increase the files. All right, so this is known as graduated taper technique. So if they ask you anywhere anything about graduated taper technique, remember Quantec. All right, Quantec is for graduated tapers. All right, S-shaped cross section, only with two radial lands. It came with double helical flute so that the augering up of debris was much better. Came in two versions mainly, LX non-cutting, SC safe cutting, and then there was an earlier version which was 90-degree active cutting tip. All right, so this was the predecessor of the K3 file, which is the newer file with three radial lands, a land relief, and with variable core diameters and an increasing helical angle. So that is regarding our K3 files. All right. Now we have something called as trihelical Hedstrom file design. All right. So trihelical Hedstrom file design, in which of the following files was this file design seen for the first time? So the answer for this is Hero 642. Hero 642 is basically, the full form of Hero is high elasticity in rotation. All right, high elasticity in rotation is known as Hero files, and this was named as 642 because it came with 6%, 4%, and 2% dimension files. All right, now it has a trihelical Hedstrom file design. It has a negative rake angle but a positive cutting angle. Okay, so it was somewhere in that in between kind of a file where there was a negative rake angle, all right, but a positive cutting angle. So the cutting angle was more on the positive end. Hero 642 was basically in a trihelical Hedstrom design because of the helix which was given, which resembled the hand file, which is H file. All right, pause. ಇಲ್ಲಿಂದ continue ಮಾಡಿ. So this came as a 12 file system. All right, there were 12 files totally in this system. Okay, and it was introduced first by Darrell Green by Micromega. Okay, this company was known as Micromega, and the one who introduced it was by the name Darrell Green. Okay, in this it was operated at 300 to 600 rpm. All right, your initial profile series was operated at 150 to 300 rpm. Here you're seeing a higher rpm increase, remember that. So 300 to 600 rpm was the manufacturer's instructions for rotating the file. The geometrics are very similar to an H file, and this was the first NiTi file. As you can see, they don't have any radial lands. They have cutting edges, but they don't have radial lands. So this was the first file design which actually came with no radial lands. But to kind of counterbalance on the screwing in effect, what they did was they kept a variable pitch. All right, the pitch increased as you went coronally. All right, the pitch, that is the distance between the two cutting edges, increased, thus reducing the risk of binding the file into the root canal system. Also, it came with a large central core. As you can see, the central core is quite large. So this adds up to the strength of the strength of the file and the resistance to breakage. Okay, so it basically increased the strength of the file and the resistance to fracture. So this is regarding the first rotary NiTi file which came without a radial land with a trihelical headstrom design known as Hero 642. Now you have something newer in the Hero series known as the Hero Shaper. All right, so basically the Hero Shaper that is there has something called as adaptive pitch concept. Okay, the Hero Shaper comes with it is based on the adaptive pitch concept. Now what that means is that the pitch of the blade is modified. All right, instead of having a fixed pitch or even a variable pitch, now they have something called as an adaptive pitch. So it is possible for the manufacturers to control the cutting area on the file by varying the pitch distance. So by varying the distance between the cutting edges, they were able to control which part of the file is in cutting action. They also were able to select the strength, the flexibility and the efficiency of the file by varying the pitch distances. And this was again suited based on the taper and the usage of the file. If it was used in the coronal third or the middle third or the apical third, the pitch distance was varied accordingly in the Hero Shaper, which helped us to shape in a more adaptive manner by adaptive pitch concept. Remember these points. All right.